Good morning, dear students. We have been discussing the topic carbocations, and also we had gone through the definition of carbocation and also the classification of various carbocations, that is methyl, ethyl, isopropyl and tertiary butyl carbocations we have discussed. And also another classification is alkyl, allyl, benzyl and vinyl carbocations, isn't it? So next we can go through the geometry of carbocations. Okay. So while considering the geometry of carbocations, the CH3 plus, it is methyl carbocation, and also this methyl carbocation, it has got 5 electrons, isn't it? 5 electrons. So total with CH3 it will be having, if it is CH3 group, it will be having 6 electrons. Since it is electron deficient, it will be having 1 electron less. Okay, so in total it will be having 5 electrons in the case of CH3. And also while writing this hybridization, how can we write the CH3? This is 2s orbital, isn't it? Normally carbon, it is having 1s, 2s and 2p. This is the normal hybridization, 2s. So 1s2, 2s1, 2p 3, isn't it? So total 4 valencies are there for carbon atom which is in the ground state, isn't it? So this is the general hybridization. So total 4 valencies are there. To this 4 valencies, 4 hydrogen atoms can join, and therefore it can form this methane, isn't it? So here we are discussing the geometry of this methyl radical CH3 plus, and it is electron deficient. So we can draw the geometry of this carbocation, that is CH3 plus or C plus. We can write like this. It is electron deficient. We have to consider only the valence shell, that is 2s and 2p we can write. So for 2s it will be having 1 electron, and for 2p it will be having 2 electrons. Okay, so like this. So this CH3, after hybridization, it will be having the valence shell like this, 2s and 2p. So 2s will be having 1 electron and 2p will be having 2 electrons. Okay, so these three half-filled orbitals, it will be combining with 3 hydrogen atoms, isn't it? It will be combining with 3 unhybridized hydrogen atoms, or it will be combining with 3 hydrogen atoms to form what is the hybridization here? It will be having 1s and 2 p orbitals, isn't it? 1s and 2 p orbitals, that is, this is px and py and this is pz. Okay, so this will be having 1 s orbital, 1 px orbital and 1 py orbital. So the hybridization will be sp2 hybridization. Okay, so it will be having sp2 hybridization. So what happens if it is having sp2 hybridization and one of the p orbital, it is an unhybridized p orbital, isn't it? Unhybridized p orbital. So this is the unhybridized p orbital, pz. Okay, so unhybridized p orbital. So the geometry of this carbocations will be sp2 hybridization, and also for sp2 hybridization, what about the bond angle? Bond angle will be 120 degree, and also the geometry will be trigonal planar geometry. So this methyl carbocation will be having sp2 hybridization with bond angle 120 degree, and the geometry is trigonal planar. This is very important geometry of carbocation. So you have to study, and also while drawing the structure of this carbocation, it will be like this: 3 hydrogen atoms, isn't it? So these are the 3 hydrogen atoms bonded, and 1 unhybridized p orbital. This unhybridized p orbital will be lying perpendicular to the plane of this molecule. Okay, so this is the plane of the molecule, that is CH3 group. CH3 group, it is in one plane, and the unhybridized p orbital, it is above and below the plane of the CH3 group. Okay, so CH3 group will be in one plane, and this unhybridized p orbital, it will be lying perpendicular to this CH3 plane. Okay, so the hybridization is sp2, bond angle 120 degree. So this bond angle, it is 120 degree, and the geometry is trigonal planar. So this is the trigonal planar geometry. Okay, sorry, this is the trigonal planar geometry. Trigonal planar geometry. Okay, with the unhybridized p orbital lying perpendicular to the plane of this CH3 group. So while writing the geometry of carbocation, you have to draw the structure also. Also, you have to mark the bond angle also, 120 degree. Okay, hope you are clear. Next is the formation of carbocations. Formation of carbocations. Formation of carbocations. See this carbocations, there are some different methods for the formation of carbocations, and the first one, that is the heterolysis of carbon halogen bond. Heterolysis of carbon halogen bond, CX bond. Halogen, it is represented by the letter X. Okay. So this CX bond means generally we can write it as alkyl halides. Okay. So alkyl halides on heterolysis. Heterolysis means the splitting, it is not in a symmetrical manner, isn't it? One of the electron pair will be shifted to one of the atoms completely. That is heterolysis. Okay. So here the alkyl halide we are taking, that is Rx in general, we can write it as Rx, alkyl halide. So the heterolysis of this alkyl halide, so what happens, the electron pair will be completely shifting towards this halogen atom, since halogen atom is more electronegative than this alkyl group. Okay, so heterolysis takes place in alkyl halide. This is the alkyl halide, and the electron pair will be completely shifting towards the more electronegative halogen atom, so that we will be having R plus plus X minus. Okay, so this is the carbocation formed. Carbocation. Then the second method, that is the protonation of alcohols. Protonation of alcohol followed by dehydration. Protonation of alcohols followed by dehydration. Protonation of alcohols followed by dehydration. Okay, so alcohols, general formula is ROH. OH is the functional group for alcohols. So ROH, protonation means addition of H plus or addition of a proton. So addition of H plus, so that this group becomes R. The H plus will be added to this OH, so that this OH becomes OH2 plus. Okay, ROH2 plus. H plus is added along with this OH group. Then again, from this group, one molecule of water is eliminated. Okay, from this group, one molecule of water is eliminated. That means this electron pair will be moving along with this H2O molecule. Okay, so that what happens, this R will be getting a positive charge. And this positive charge, it is neutralized by the negative electrons which is obtained from this particular bond. Okay, so here we will be getting R plus plus H2O. The water will be, the charge in this water molecule will be neutralized by this electron pair. Okay, so we will be having this alkyl carbocation. So this is another method of obtaining carbocations. Okay, then the next is the third method of this formation of carbocations, that is by the protonation of alkenes. By the protonation of alkenes. Alkenes means it is a double bonded compound, unsaturated, or it will be having a double bond. Okay, so we can take the case of a simple alkene, that is CH2 double bond CH2 plus H plus. Okay, CH2 double bond CH2 plus H plus. So what happens is that one of the this pi bond, it is shifted to one of the carbon atoms, so that what happens, this carbon will be getting a positive charge and this carbon will be getting a negative charge. Okay, if this electron pair pi bond is shifted to this carbon atom, what happens, the first carbon will be getting a positive charge and the second carbon will be getting a negative charge. So I am writing that particular species. So this will be having a positive charge and this will be getting a negative charge. So to this group, what happens is H plus is added. So what happens, normally H plus will be added to the negatively charged carbon atom, so that it becomes CH3. Okay, so this group becomes CH3 and the other species it is, or the other group is CH2 plus. So we will be having CH3, CH2 plus. Again we will be having a carbocation. Okay, so these are the different methods for the formation of carbocations. So this part is very important. It might be asked in your essay part. You have to describe what do you mean by carbocations and what is the geometry of carbocation, how carbocations are formed, and also give an account on the stability of carbocations. So this is very important. You should not skip these portions. It is very important for your university examination. So next we can go through the stability of carbocations. This part also, it is very important. It can be asked in C part or D part. Stability of carbocations. Stability of carbocations. See, carbocations means in general we can write it as R plus. That means the species, it is having a positive charge. That means it is electron deficient. It is electron deficient. Okay, so electron deficient, and also it is highly unstable. It is highly unstable or it is highly reactive. And also the stability of carbocations we can explain in terms of three electron displacement effects. That is the first one, that is the inductive effect. We can explain the stability of carbocations in terms of inductive effect and also in terms of hyperconjugation. Inductive effect, then in terms of hyperconjugation, and also in terms of resonance. Okay, so all these are very important. It might be asked in your section C or section D part. Okay, so please don't skip. It is a sure question for your examination. Okay, so the stability of carbocations can be explained in terms of inductive effect, hyperconjugation, or in terms of resonance. We can go through one by one. First we can see the stability of carbocations in terms of inductive effect. Stability in terms of inductive effect. Stability in terms of inductive effect. Okay, so this stability of this carbocations we can explain in terms of inductive effect. So first of all, you have to consider all these species. First of all, I am writing CH3 plus. Okay, CH3 plus, that is methyl carbocation. Then I am writing ethyl carbocation, RCH2 plus. Okay, then again I am writing, so this is a primary carbocation, this is also a primary carbocation. Then next I am writing a secondary carbocation, RCr, then hydrogen, then plus. This is R2CH plus, isn't it? So this is a secondary carbocation, primary. Then again I am writing a tertiary carbocation, RCr, R, then positive charge. Okay, so this is a tertiary carbocation. So we can explain all the stability of all these carbocations in terms of inductive effect. Okay, see, first of all, in the first case, see, it is carbon is attached to hydrogen atoms. There is not much electronegativity difference or no chance for any inductive effect, isn't it? There is no electronegativity difference also, and hence there is no dispersal of this positive charge, or there is no electron displacement between these carbon and hydrogen atoms. Okay, but in the second case, that is RCH2 plus. Okay, this is RCH2 plus. See here, R group means it is an alkyl group, isn't it? And also, you know, this alkyl group, it is having a plus I effect, isn't it? Alkyl group or R group, it is having a plus I effect. What do you mean by plus I effect? The electron shift will be towards this carbon atom, isn't it? It will be releasing electron towards this carbon atom, isn't it? So this particular group, that is this primary carbocation, it is having one alkyl group. So the electron, it is having an electron releasing effect. This R group, it is having an electron releasing effect. So what happens is that an electron pull will be towards this carbon atom from this alkyl group. Okay, so what happens while the electrons are displacing towards this carbon atom? What happens to the intensity of this positive charge? The intensity of the positive charge will be decreased, isn't it? Or the neutralization, gradual neutralization of this positive charge will be taking place due to the shift of the electron pair from this alkyl group to this carbon atom. Okay, a gradual neutralization or the intensity of the positive charge will be decreased due to the presence of this alkyl group. Okay, then again coming to the next case, see R2CH. This is R2CH plus. So how many alkyl groups are here? 2 alkyl groups are here. So what happens? Again the electron shift will be further increased. 2 alkyl groups are there. That means 2 electron releasing groups are attached to this carbon atom. So again what happens to the intensity of this positive charge present in this carbon atom? The intensity of the positive charge will be further decreased than in the case of this primary carbocation. Isn't it? Here 2 alkyl groups are there. So again 2 electron releasing groups are there. Therefore the electron density towards this carbon atom will be much more increased. So the intensity of the positive charge will be decreased again. Okay. Then in the next case, that is in the tertiary carbocation, that is R3C plus. See here how many alkyl groups are there? 3 alkyl groups are present. Isn't it? 3 alkyl groups are present. So 3 groups are electron releasing groups. So again the electron density around this carbon atom will be increased triply. Isn't it? Since 3 alkyl groups are there. So what happens to the intensity of the positive charge? So the intensity of the positive charge will further be decreased while comparing with other two. Okay. So in all these cases, see, as the intensity of the positive charge is decreasing, that means the stability of that particular species will be increasing, isn't it? The intensity of this particular charge is decreasing. That means the stability of this particular carbocation will be increased. So we can say that the most stable among these 4 categories, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the most stable among these 4 compounds or the 4 carbocations will be this tertiary carbocation. So this tertiary carbocation will be more stable than secondary, which is more stable than a primary carbocation, which is more stable than this methyl carbocation. Okay, so due to the presence of as the number of alkyl groups are increasing, what happens? The intensity of the positive charge will be decreased. So that if 3 alkyl groups are there, that particular carbocation will be the most stable one among other 3. Okay, among that 4 groups. Hope you are clear with the stability of this with this carbocations. So we can write the stability of the carbocations. You should not by heart all this. You have to understand and study. Okay, so the stability of carbocations increases in the order. So the least stable will be primary, then after that secondary will be the stable one, then comes tertiary. So the most stable one will be the tertiary and the least stable will be primary one. Okay. So this is the stability explanation for the stability of carbocations in terms of inductive effect. Okay, so here you have to note down this point, that is if an alkyl group is attached, what happens? It will be having a plus I effect. So with the increase in the number of alkyl groups, what happens? Increase in the number of alkyl groups, what happens? The intensity of the positive charge will be decreased. Intensity of the positive charge will be decreased, and as a result what happens? The stability of the carbocation increases. Stability of carbocation increases. So as the number of alkyl group increases, stability of carbocation increases. Okay. Then the next case is explanation of the stability of carbocations in terms of hyperconjugation. In terms of hyperconjugation or no bond resonance, you have studied the phenomenon. So the stability of carbocations in terms of hyperconjugation. So here I am writing ethyl carbocation, that is CH3, CH2 plus, CH3, CH2 plus. Okay, so this CH2 plus, it is having an unhybridized p orbital. We had seen in the geometry of carbocations, it is having an unhybridized p orbital. So I am representing the unhybridized p orbital here. So here what happens is that this hyperconjugation means there will be one CH bond is present, and also a vacant p orbital is there, isn't it? That is, the sigma electrons here, the CH sigma bond, it will be in conjugation with the vacant p orbital present on this carbon atom, which is having a positive charge. Okay, that means here it is having a CH bond which is in conjugation with the unhybridized p orbital. Okay, so what happens here? Hyperconjugation arises. That means this CH bond, the electrons will be shifted to this position. So what happens here? No bond will be there between this carbon and hydrogen, so that we can write it as like this CH. I had written all these near hyperconjugation, isn't it? So it becomes H positive. Here it becomes a double bond since the electron pair will be moving to this position. So it will be having CH2 plus. Okay, it will be having CH2 plus. So this is the unhybridized p orbital. So here in the case of ethyl carbocation, how many hyperconjugative structures are possible? How many hyperconjugative structures are possible? See how many alpha hydrogens. This hyperconjugative structure means it represents the number of it denotes the number of alpha hydrogen atoms, isn't it? It depends on the number of alpha hydrogen atoms. So here how many alpha hydrogen? 1, 2 and 3. So 3 alpha hydrogen means 3 hyperconjugative structures are possible. Okay, 3 alpha hydrogen means 3 hyperconjugative structures are possible. So again you have to represent all the hyperconjugative structures. So again CH3, CH2 plus. So the next, the first hyperconjugative structure, it will be like this. This electron pair will be shifted here. So CH, here it becomes H plus, isn't it? It becomes H plus, then CH, then double bond CH2. Okay, this electron pair will be shifted here. So this becomes a double bond. Then the next structure, while considering this hydrogen atom, so it becomes H plus, then C, then here CH, then double bond CH2, again hydrogen. So this is the second hyperconjugative structure if this electron pair is moving. Okay, then the next third hyperconjugative structure, that is with respect to this carbon hydrogen. Okay, so this electron pair will be shifting to this position, so that this hydrogen will be getting a positive charge, other two will be remaining as such. So CH2, then H plus, then here it becomes double bond CH2. Okay, so these are the 3 hyperconjugative structures, 1, 2 and 3. So this number of hyperconjugative structures depends upon the number of alpha hydrogen atoms. So here 3 alpha hydrogen atoms are present, so we can have 3 hyperconjugative structures. You should not write HC. So 3 hyperconjugative structures are there. Okay. So this is the case of ethyl carbocation. Then coming to the case of CH3 twice CH plus, that is isopropyl, that is this is a secondary carbocation, that is CH plus, then CH3, then CH3. Okay, CH3 twice CH plus, isn't it? So this is a secondary carbocation. See how many alpha hydrogens are there. This is the first alpha carbon, this is the second alpha carbon. So the hydrogens attached to these alpha carbon atoms, that is how many alpha hydrogen atoms are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, isn't it? So these are the alpha hydrogen atoms which I am marking in red ink. 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5 and 6. So how many alpha hydrogen atoms? 6 alpha hydrogen atoms. So 6 hyperconjugative structures are there, isn't it? For a secondary carbocation, 6 hyperconjugative structures are there. For a primary carbocation, 3 hyperconjugative structures are there. Then the third case, for a tertiary carbocation, that is CH3 thrice C plus, CH3 plus. See again how many hyperconjugative structures are possible. These are the 3 alpha carbon atoms. This is an alpha carbon, alpha carbon, alpha carbon. So in total how many alpha hydrogens? 3 plus 3, 6 plus 3, 9. So here how many alpha hydrogens? 9 alpha hydrogen. We had written all these in, or we had discussed all these matters in your hyperconjugation, isn't it? I hope you are remembering all these things. So otherwise you can refer the video also. Okay, so 9 alpha hydrogens. So again, what happens? How many hyperconjugative structures? 9 hyperconjugative structures are possible. And also we had studied that as the number of hyperconjugative structure increases, what happens? The stability of the carbocation will also increase, isn't it? As the number of hyperconjugative structure increases, the stability of the carbocation also increases. See here, primary, how many carbocations are there? For primary carbocation, how many hyperconjugative structures are possible? 3 hyperconjugative structures, isn't it? So for primary, 3 hyperconjugative structures. For a secondary, how many? 6 hyperconjugative structures. And for a tertiary carbocation, how many? 9 hyperconjugative structures are possible. So from this we can explain the stability. Which one will be more stable? A tertiary carbocation will be more stable than while comparing with a primary as well as a secondary carbocation. That is, tertiary will be having 9 hyperconjugative structures. So as the number of hyperconjugative structure increases, the stability also increases. So tertiary will be more stable than secondary than primary. Okay, tertiary will be more stable than secondary, which is more stable than primary. So this is regarding the hyperconjugation, the stability of carbocations in terms of hyperconjugation. Okay. Then again, see for methyl carbocation, how many hyperconjugative structures are there? For methyl carbocation, see how many alpha carbon are there? No alpha carbon atom, isn't it? No alpha carbon, so no hyperconjugative structures are there. No alpha carbon, hence no alpha hydrogen, therefore no hyperconjugative structures are possible. So the stability will be the least for methyl, then comes primary, then comes secondary, then comes tertiary. So the stability will be in this order. Okay. Then the next is the stability of carbocations in terms of resonance. So up to this you are clear, I think. If you are having any doubt, please ask me. Okay. Then the next is stability of carbocations. In terms of resonance. Stability of carbocations in terms of resonance. See here we are discussing mainly the different carbocations, that is allyl carbocation, benzyl carbocation, then propyl carbocation. Propyl it is not having a ring structure. And also allyl also it is not having a ring structure, but in benzyl it is having a ring structure, isn't it? So mainly we are discussing this these 3 structures, and also this allyl, we have to compare allyl, benzyl and propyl carbocations. So first of all, write the structure of allyl carbocation. Allyl carbocation, it will be like this: CH2 double bond CH, single bond CH2 plus. This is the allyl carbocation, isn't it? So we can write the resonating structure for this allyl carbocation, right? So what happens? This electron pair will be shifting to this position, so that this carbon will be getting a positive charge, isn't it? So CH2 plus, then here it becomes a single bond, then CH, then here it becomes a double bond CH2. So this is the resonance structure of this particular group, allyl carbocation. 2 resonating structures are possible, 1, 2. 2 resonating structures are possible. And also this allyl carbocations, they are stable due to the resonance effect, that is it will be having a minus R effect. Here See the vacant p orbital. See here for this carbon atom, this carbocation, for this species, it will be having an unhybridized p orbital, and this unhybridized p orbital, it will be in conjugation with the pi bond, isn't it? Here a pi bond is there, so this is in conjugation with the pi bond, so we can have two resonating structures, and as a result the delocalization of the pi electron will be taking place. So these are the two resonating structures of this allyl carbocation. That is the first case. Okay. Then coming to the second case, that is the benzyl carbocation. Benzyl means the formula is C6H5 CH2 plus, isn't it? C6H5 CH2 plus. Benzyl carbocation. Now you have to draw the different resonating structure of this benzyl carbocation. So what happens? Pi delocalization takes place. So this pi electron will be shifted to this position. So again draw the structure. Here what happens? This electron pair will be shifting. So here it becomes a double bond, isn't it? Double bond CH2. Positive charge will be neutralized. So what happens to this carbon atom? The electron pair, it is moving towards this position. So here this carbon will be having a positive charge, isn't it? The other two bonds will be retained as such. Then what about the next structure? Again double bond CH2, then this electron, this pi electron pair will be shifting to this position, so that this positive charge will be neutralized. Here it becomes a double bond. Already a double bond is present here. And also what happens to this carbon atom? It will be getting a positive charge since the electron pair is moving towards this place. So this carbon will be having a positive charge. Okay. Then the next structure, double bond CH2. Then what about this shifting? This pi bond will be shifted to this position. Already a double bond is there. So this pi electron will be moving to this position, so that this carbon will be getting a positive charge. So I am representing the positive charge right there. Okay. Then what is the next structure? This pi electron will be moving to this position. Already two double bonds are there. I am putting it as such. Then here it becomes this double bond becomes a single bond, and this carbon will be getting a positive charge. Okay. So here a double bond. So these are the different resonating structures of benzyl carbocation. Okay. Different resonating structures of benzyl carbocation. Hope you are clear with this electron displacement. You have to write it this represent this electron displacement only in a particular direction, in a single direction. The electron shift should be shown like this. Okay, in a same direction, that is in a clockwise direction. Okay. Hope you are clear with writing these resonating structures. So these are the different resonating structures of benzyl carbocation. And also while comparing this allyl and benzyl carbocation, which one will be more stable? Allyl or benzyl carbocation? Allyl or benzyl carbocation, which one will be more stable? Which one will be more stable? This is an important question. Allyl or benzyl carbocation, which one will be more stable? See, the answer is that benzyl carbocation will be more stable. Why? Because the number of resonating structures is greater. It is having 5 resonating structure, but in allyl carbocation it is having only 2 resonating structures, isn't it? So as the number of contributing structures, or as the number of canonical structures are increasing, what happens? The stability will also increase. So here benzyl carbocation, it is having greater number of resonating structures. More number of resonating structures in the case of benzyl carbocation. Greater in benzyl carbocation than in allyl carbocation. Okay. So that is the reason why benzyl carbocation is more stable than allyl carbocation. Okay. So that is one question to be asked. See, in this part you will be asking this application level questions. That is, you have to compare 1 or 2 compounds and you have to write the stability. Okay. Sometimes it might not be asked like what is resonating, what do you mean by resonance effect, like that. It might not be asked sometimes. It will be just like an application level question like this. Which one will be more stable, an allyl or a benzyl carbocation? Okay. See, next you have to compare other three carbocations. So the next part, the third one, that is benzyl carbocation. You have to compare the stability of benzyl carbocation, then diphenyl carbocation, and also a triphenyl carbocation. Which one will be more stable? A benzyl carbocation, diphenyl carbocation, or a triphenyl carbocation? First of all, you have to draw the structures. See, for benzyl carbocation, the structure it will be like this: C6H5CH2 plus. This is benzyl carbocation. Okay. Then diphenyl methyl carbocation. Okay, diphenyl methyl carbocation and also triphenyl methyl carbocation. Okay, then diphenyl methyl carbocation means, see, methyl carbocation is CH3 plus, isn't it? See, diphenyl methyl means from these three hydrogen atoms, two hydrogens will be replaced by two phenyl groups. Are you clear? From this CH3 group, since it is diphenyl methyl carbocation, it is a derivative of methyl carbocation. So, methyl carbocation is CH3 plus. So, from this, two hydrogens will be replaced by two phenyl groups. Okay. So, that I am writing the structure like this. So, two hydrogens are replaced, so it becomes CH plus, isn't it? So, the remaining will be two phenyl groups. Okay, so this is the structure of diphenyl methyl carbocation. Okay, then next is triphenyl methyl. So all the three hydrogen atoms are replaced by three phenyl groups. Okay, so it becomes C plus okay. So this is triphenyl methyl carbocations. All the three hydrogen atoms are replaced by three phenyl groups. So this is triphenyl methyl carbocation. So by comparing these three groups, these three compounds, which one will be more stable? See, in the case of benzyl carbocation, how many resonating structures are possible? It is having 5 resonating structures are there, isn't it? In the case of diphenyl amine, and also see in the case of this benzyl carbocation, how many hyperconjugative structures are there? How many hyperconjugative structures are possible? See, 3 hyperconjugative structures are possible for this benzyl carbocation. That means here it has got 3 double bonds, isn't it? 3 double bonds. With these 3 double bonds, they are in conjugation with this positive charge, isn't it? So that means these are the alpha carbon atoms. So all these double bonds will be having in pi delocalization with this positive charges. So it will be having 3 hyperconjugative structures. Okay, it will be having 3 hyperconjugative structures, and also hence this benzyl carbocation, it will be having 3 hyperconjugative structures. In the case of diphenyl amine, see, diphenyl methyl carbocation, see how many double bonds are there? 6 double bonds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, isn't it? 3, 3. So total 6 double bonds are there, and these 6 double bonds will be in delocalization with the positive charge, isn't it? So it will be having 6 hyperconjugative structures. Okay. Again, in the case of this triphenyl methyl carbocation, how many hyperconjugative structures? How many double bonds are there? 3 plus 3, 6 plus 3, 9. So 9 hyperconjugative structures are possible. Okay. 9 hyperconjugative structures are possible. So in these cases, see, as the number of hyperconjugative structure increases, what happens? The stability increases. So the most stable one will be this triphenyl methyl while comparing with other two. So benzyl carbocation, it will be less stable than this diphenyl methyl, which is less stable than triphenyl methyl. So the most stable one will be this triphenyl methyl carbocation. Okay. So this is another example for the comparison of this benzyl, diphenyl and triphenyl. So while comparing these three, you have to represent the stability in terms of hyperconjugative structures. Okay. We can also represent this in terms of resonating structures also. All these pi electrons will be involved in resonance, isn't it? So this benzyl carbocation, it will be having five resonating structures. Similarly, all these will be having again, this will be having how many resonating structures? Again, double of this, isn't it? So it will be having 10 resonating structures. Again, this will be having 15 resonating structures, isn't it? So in that way also, this triphenyl methyl carbocation will be more stable. So in your textbook, it is given the stability, it is represented in terms of the hyperconjugative structures. So here you have to count the number of double bonds present, and thereby you can write the hyperconjugative structures. Okay, hope you are clear. Then one more species is there, that is the tropylium cation. Tropylium cation. Tropylium cation means it will be having 7 carbon atoms. Tropylium cation means it will be having 7. Normally benzyl phenyl species means it will be having 6 carbon atoms, isn't it? See, tropylium means it will be having 7 carbon atoms. So the structure, it will be like this. Okay. So here double bond, here a double bond, here a double bond, and one of the carbon atom, it will be having a positive charge. So this is the structure of tropylium cation, or it is cyclohepta trienyl cation. Cyclohepta trienyl cation. Cyclohepta means it is a cyclic compound. Hepta means number 7, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. 7 carbon atoms are there. So it is hepta. Then trienyl. Enyl means double bond. Then trienyl means 3 double bonds. 1, 2 and 3. 3 double bonds are there. So tropylium cation, it is the general name. So it is cyclohepta trienyl cation. Then here also you have to represent the different resonating structures of this tropylium cation. This tropylium cation, it is a highly stable carbocation. Tropylium cation, it is a highly stable carbocation, and you have to represent the stability of this carbocation in terms of the delocalization of the pi electrons. Okay, so I am writing the structure like this. 3 double bonds, positive charge. Then so here this electron pair will be shifting to this position. So what will be the next structure? It will be becoming a double bond here, and this carbon atom will be getting a positive charge. Already a double bond is present here. Here a double bond. Okay, then the next structure will be like this. What happens? This electron pair, this pi bond will be shifted to this position. Again draw the structure. A double bond is here, so this will be moving to this position, and this carbon atom will be getting a positive charge. Then already a pi bond is here. Then what is the next structure? The next structure, it will be like this. This pi bond will be shifting here. So double bond, here a double bond. So here a positive charge. Okay, at this position a positive charge. Here it becomes a double bond. Then the next structure. First of all, you have to draw the structure, then only represent the double bonds. Here double bond, here a double bond, then what is the next delocalization? It will be like this. Okay, sorry. So this will be moving to this position. So this carbon atom will be getting a positive charge. Right here a positive charge. So this will be moving to this position. So here a double bond. Okay. Then the next structure. What is the next structure? This pi electron will be shifting to this position, a double bond. So this carbon will be having a positive charge, a double bond here, a double bond here. Then again, what is the next structure? This pi electron will be shifting to this position. So double bond, here a double bond. So here what happens? This becomes a double bond. Again this carbon will be getting a positive charge. Okay, positive charge. So these are the different resonating structures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 resonating structures are there, isn't it? 7 resonating structures are there. So here this will be equivalent to the structure like this. Pi delocalization, a positive charge here. Okay, so this is the different resonating structures of tropylium cation. Okay, so we can explain the stability of the carbocations in terms of inductive effect, or in terms of hyperconjugation, or in terms of this resonating structures. See, in all the above compounds, that is, we have discussed methyl carbocation, then ethyl carbocation CH3, CH2 plus, then CH3 twice CH plus, then CH3 thrice CH plus, CH3 thrice C plus. Then we have discussed allyl carbocations, isn't it? That is, allyl means CH2 double bond CH single bond CH2. This is allyl carbocation. Then benzyl carbocation we have seen C6H5 CH2 plus. Then we have seen diphenyl methyl carbocation C6H5 CH, C6H5 twice CH plus. Then we have seen triphenyl methyl carbocation C6H5 thrice C plus. Then we have seen tropylium cation also, isn't it? So many carbocations we have seen. So we have to compare all these in terms of the stability of all these compounds in terms of inductive effect or hyperconjugation, or in terms of resonance effect. Among all these compounds, the most stable one, that is the tropylium carbocation. Okay, so tropylium carbocation, it is the most stable one. Then comes diphenyl methyl, then comes triphenyl methyl, then comes diphenyl methyl, then benzyl, then allyl carbocation, then comes CH3 thrice C plus, then comes CH3 twice CH plus, then comes ethyl, then comes methyl carbocation. So the least stable among these set of compounds is methyl, and the most stable one, that is the tropylium carbocation. This is the most stable tropylium carbocation, and this is the least stable least stable methyl carbocation. Okay, so this is how you can compare the stability of carbocations. And also this is very important. This particular part is very, very important. You should not skip any of these portions. Okay, hope you are clear with this, all the explanations regarding these carbocations. Okay, so the next reactions of carbocations we can go through in our next session. Okay, thank you.